Hello everybody. So, can you slide please? Or is it me? Yeah, okay, sorry. So, my name is Pierre and I'm here to present you Puzme. As Julie said, Puzme, in 2 words, it's very simple. It's a dating application. But tonight I would like to tell you a bit more about Puzme. I would like to tell you the story behind Puzme, because sometimes it's also interesting, isn't it? So it all started like 3 years ago. I didn't play in Mad Men, but I was in a professional meeting. And there was this woman that I never saw before. Not the ginger-haired one, but this one. And I never saw her before, but strange enough, I had a little picture in my mind about her. She seemed a bit serious, a bit introvert, a bit cold, I would say. But at some point, she made a little move because she had to grab something on the floor. And I saw that she had a beautiful tattoo, Eden. And that's interesting, because from that moment, I had a complete different picture about her. She was not that introvert anymore, she was not that serious anymore. There was a human behind the person. So I thought, well, maybe should we always discover the people through the details and not from the global picture? And that's what Puzme is all about. Puzme is the first dating application based on details. So here is how it works. It's very simple. On Puzme, you choose one detail you like about yourself. So it can be your tattoo, it can be your smile, it can be your eyes, it can be your shoes, your favorite book. It's up to you to choose. What's important to remember is that this detail is the only thing that will represent you. So it's more discreet and subtle. And then start something interesting, because Puzme is all about gamification. I mean, on Puzme, you can challenge the other users to send you extra details. And that's interesting because the more details you have about someone, the more you have a nice, a rich picture about this person. You have a little puzzle of him or her. So now the big question, of course, is there a place for Puzme on the dating market? Because there are big players over there. You know probably Tinder, Happen, Mythics. But we strongly believe that we have a chance, a big chance, because as you can see, all those dating applications are based on the old-fashioned profile picture. Puzme is just based on details. It's about subtleties, it's about discretion and gamification. And it makes sense, it can make a difference, because maybe you don't want, if you are in a dating application, you don't want your colleague or your neighbor or your friends to know that you are using a dating application, right? So we launched the application on Android end of 2016. So far we have like 400 users, mainly from Belgium, France and Switzerland. What's interesting is that we see people coming from different countries and, more important, from different cultures, which let us think that there is a potential for Puzme at an international level. So the team, there is me, I'm in charge of the digital marketing. There is Gael, she's a talented web designer, and there is maybe you, because we are looking for a developer. So last request, of course we are just starting, so if you are a blogger or a journalist, we have a little press release for you, so just tell us and we'll give it to you. And that's it. Maybe you have some questions, maybe I have some answers. Let's see.
Well, let's start with questions. Anybody has questions in the room? Maybe you will get an answer. But at least you have a press release.
Yeah.
on the key. I love the way you put it. I love that.
Thanks.
It's like they don't have to ask it anymore. Okay, so who would use it?
Nobody uses dating applications, right?
No. We have a few, like about 20 people in the room. Okay. Okay. So, do you think they go to the right direction? Yes?
Oh, no, tell us, if you have any feedback.
It's, I know it's an ongoing process, yeah?
Yeah,
why would you release an app like this in the entire world? Why not concentrate on Brussels, for example?
Because it's a business, I think, where you need a critical mass of users. And there is no reason not to go to aim international, because it's quite easy, you know. The application is already in Spanish, English, Dutch, and French, and it's not. There is no barrier to do that.
Yeah, if you need someone, you would probably prefer this person to live in the same city as you are.
That's an interesting question, because on the current application, we have two tabs. Just to go in details, we have two tabs. You can see the people in your city, and you can see the people in the world. And honestly, we still don't know if people will like to exchange details with people that they might see, or people that they will never see. And maybe it depends of the person, of course. But that's something we want to experiment.
I'm not sure I can give you any advice, but it's just my 2 cents. If it was me, I would just focus on one small market and maybe have a good traction there, because having some traction from every country is really hard.
But the goal is not. The goal, of course, is not to aim all the people in the world directly. It's just that the application is open to anybody, you know, from any country except maybe North Korea. But people are open to come, and if we see that there is attraction specific in some places in the world, we can focus on that.
Well, maybe Xavier has the solution.
Well, I don't know if I have the solution, but no, I think maybe it's a problem of framing. Like, I'm not sure it's a dating app. Like, if it's a dating app, I would agree with you. Like, you better focus on a really small geographic, because you want to meet people nearby. But maybe this, what you're actually building is the Pinterest of body parts.
Maybe, yeah.
Right, or something different, which is interesting. But I think it's still already early days, so I think it's, you know, try and see, like, the best is to get feedback and just...
That's good.
Well, what's funny is like you don't see the face actually, so you see parts, and then it's really like a game. Do you want more? It's like, and then you see the face. Oh my God! But you were dreaming.
Of course, that's the
time.
game you are playing, and sometimes you will bet you won't have any answer to your challenge, but that's the game.
So you have a chat thing going on.
I was thinking about something. But what's interesting is that you just exchange pictures, and by communicating by visuals, you already communicate just without saying a word. And that's interesting when you start to chat, for instance, because you can use the details you receive to engage the conversation.
It's super romantic, actually.
Yeah, I think it's a bit, except if we go in another direction, but there is a game of seduction that you don't have on Tinder, for instance, or Happen, where it's just swipe. Yes, no, you know it.
Nice. You have a nice vision and extra feeling. Yes. There. I see an inspiring girl there who wants to say something. Another one.
What's your?
Yeah, it's working. Yeah, Natalie, try it on.
Is it your? What's your personality?
My personality?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
If you are,
Are you single?
if you have to put something on the app, what will be your detail, your personality?
My detail.
So he has nice shoes.
I think it would be my eyes. They are blue, and for some person, They like it.
I like it a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, if it works.
but that's interesting, and
You
that's
find
something I
your
wanted to tell before. What's interesting is that with the details instead of the global picture is that when you go on Tinder, for instance, you quickly decide I like it or I don't like it, and a little details. It helps you to see the people in another way. When you see, for instance, if you have a beautiful eyes or beautiful mouth, smile, whatever, and I see you, then it's changed. These little details change the whole perspective of my mind on you, and I think that's something which can be powerful. We fall in love not just. Of course, the physics is important. We are not saying the opposite, but it helps you to go deeper with the person.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Good, yeah, and yes, I love it. Like girls are all of a sudden waking up.
Isn't it something about passion? You have a passion and you share it with someone else. For instance, I do sport. And sometimes I feel, okay, to do it alone is not so funny, so you find someone that shares the same passion, isn't it? Something
That's
like that, or willing to
thing, no?
That's funny because we have some people like you giving us this feedback. Like maybe it's not a dating application, maybe it's just a place.
I don't say that, but it could be something else.
Yeah. For instance, that's what I was talking. You were talking about passion, but. Maybe it's not about the physics, but if your details is a book of a famous writer, and I don't give a shit about the physical details, but I give a shit about your intellect. Maybe there is a match between us. So I agree with you. We still have to. It's a little playground. It's a little experiment, I think, and at this moment, and we have to see what. Interests the people and how they play with Puzme.
Yes,
but
you could extend with clubs or things to know the passion of people and to meet people that have the same passion as you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's still open.
So maybe you guys can catch up afterwards because I think it's very interesting and that's the purpose to be here at the Beta Group to have the feedback from the community and yeah. And get more inspiration.
Hello, your idea is pretty interesting, but my question is, how are you gonna make money out of it? That's, pretty simple question.
We have several business models in mind. To go quickly, the first one would be, it's a bit obvious, but we don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time. It will be a premium version because we already see from the feedback, people would like to add some features. And sometimes you have interesting feedback that you do not expect. So that, of course, it's something that you have to test. Can you get money from an extra feature? But people already start to say, I would like to have this feature or this feature. And so we think maybe we could have a premium version plus a premium version.
So who would be ready to pay for the app, actually?
Well, it depends, I think, of the features that
One
that
person
you have.
out of 20. 2? Oh, okay, well, it's
And
gonna
just
be
to
hard.
answer your question, the second business model, the other business model we had in mind, is something more about, like on Facebook or Instagram, about advertising. Why? Because we have the country, the city where you are, we have your age, normally, we have your sex, your gender, and also when imagine that you get a challenge about show me your shoes. Maybe it's interesting and relevant that we give you an advertising or a voucher for Zalando instead of any
yes,
other.
indeed. So
And the same with the show me your eyes or show me
you
your
will
lips.
recognize the...
Show me your favorite book. Maybe it's great to have a voucher at this moment to go to the FNAC.
So it's interesting, everything has to be built up. I mean, it's
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And it's not yet on the App Store.
No, not yet. We are focusing on the Android. There are still room for improvement, so we prefer to focus on something build a nice execution, and then to extend
On the
the
web.
iOS. Yeah.
Okay, so web app for now. Okay, thank you, Pierre.
Well, thank you. Thank you.